This is a continuous improvement movement reserved for the few with the grit to prove it. Everybody.
Good morning, I'm Calvin Williams, and I'm here with the lovely Maria Williams from Improver University. And we are at the amazing and beautiful La Comer grocery store and shopping center here in Querétaro, Mexico. And we've brought you a really neat story just released today by Elite Business Magazine in the UK that talks about the fear of failure in business and how it stunts growth and innovation. This is written by Jonathan Sharp. He is the CEO of Britannica Technology Company. So got a really fascinating story here, really diving into how some companies are able to achieve rapid and sustainable growth while other companies stay stuck in a very low growth mode. So a lot of great points in this article. Maria, what did you think when you got a chance to look through it?
Okay, so my takeaway from that is that we are usually so afraid of taking any new steps, especially when it comes to technology. Adapting new technology is really scary for most companies because there is a lot of risk involved. So you have like the two extremes, right? You have the fear of missing out and you have the fear of failure. So when you have a fear of missing out, you go head first, adopt a new technology just really hastily, and then it's a disaster and your fears become a reality. Oh,
Right.
It didn't work, we lost a bunch of money, people is upset. And then when you have fear of failure, it's the opposite. You just don't touch it, don't want to change anything because you prefer the safety of what you already know. But what happens when you have fear of failure? You don't innovate, you don't move forward, the competitors beat you up.
An interesting citation from the article is McKinsey released a study that said the fear of career impact is about 3.6 times greater for companies that don't innovate as compared to companies that innovate, right?
Exactly.
So if you can imagine you're a manager in that company, if the culture is risk averse, then you're going to have risk averse people who work there. And like you said, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what happens is if the company's culture is risk averse, what type of talent are they going to bring in? They're going to bring in other people who are also risk averse for fear of a poor cultural fit.
So I think if we follow the pattern, we're talking about risk, right? We're afraid because there is risk. So what is the solution?
So when I think about how to fix something like that, right, it's a dangerous place to get into to begin with, for starters. But the only solution is really people, right? It all comes back to people. It starts with people, it ends with people. You mentioned fear of missing out, right? During the pandemic, we saw a lot of tech adoption. A lot of it was really reckless, right? A lot of it was, hey, the world changed, we got to change too, right? People were kind of in a state of shock. The type of people that manage risk well are also the type of people that take more risks, ironically, right?
Well,
So
that is the key word. So you have risk management.
risk management. So what we saw during the pandemic is a lot of risk taking that was very poorly managed. And it created a dynamic of, oh, we just learned again why it's so bad to take risks. Right?
Exactly.
So the only solution really is you kind of got to start with leadership. Obviously, you can't just come in and replace an entire workforce. It's easier to replace a leader though, right? But you need the kind of leadership that embraces change. You need leaders who say, hey, we're going to actually reward success handsomely.
Of course.
We're going to forgive and learn from failures. And we're going to discourage stagnation,
Yes.
right? And that kind of puts people in a situation where, hey, I got to try something new. And if I don't try something new, there is no path to success.
Exactly. And when it comes specifically to technology implementation, just make sure that risk management plan involves several steps, like the make sure the investment in the technology, because usually technology is expensive, right? So make sure it's aligned with the company's strategic goals. We talk about goal alignment often here at the
Absolutely.
Improver University, and that is supported by implementation time. Make an implementation plan that makes sense for the type of company that you have, and involve everybody to a pilot, to get that fear out of trying a new technology.
Yeah, start small, try it out, minimize risk, mitigate, and then scale once you've got a proven success. So the principles of innovation are exactly the same as the principles for continuous improvement, because in its truest essence, continuous improvement is a program or a platform for innovation. So if you're doing CI and you got all the visual management boards and you've got all the 5S and you've got all the Pareto charts, but there's no action, there's no innovation, then you're not really doing continuous improvement, right? As the name suggests, improvement comes from the change, and innovation and change are, let's call them twin cousins, so to say.
So this article closed with kind of like a corny sentence, but I like it because it said success is not final and failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So go for it, but plan. Make sure you have a plan.
So this is Calvin and Maria signing off from Improver University. Let's get better every day. Thank you.
Just in time, not a second slow. From the top flow to the shop flow, come on. Everybody, let's go.